We last met Winston in his room, writing in his diary, "Freedom is the freedom to say that 2 plus 2 make 4." We now meet Winston again, revisiting Orwell's 1984 for the third and last time. Winston wanted to defy the party through truth, but also, we learn, through love and sex. If the party wants to eradicate pleasure, then the sexual act successfully performed was rebellion. Desire was thought crime. Estranged from his wife, Winston cannot even have this simple rebellion. He disliked nearly all women, Orwell writes, and especially the young and pretty ones. And among the latter, in particular, he hated and feared that 20-something girl with black hair, a member of the Junior Anti-Sex League. Winston had disliked her from the very first moment of seeing her, and plotted to kill her, to find some quiet place where he could smash her skull with the cobblestone. An opportunity comes his way when the girl approaches him in a long corridor, but then stumbles before him. A curious emotion stirred in Winston's heart. In front of him was an enemy who was trying to kill him. In front of him also was a human creature, in pain, and perhaps with a broken bone. Already he had instinctively started forward to help her. In the moment when he had seen her fall on the bandaged arm, it had been as though he felt the pain in his own body. She held out her free hand to him, and he helped her up. The girl is up and gone before Winston realizes she had slipped something into his hand. A note. Winston is both terrified and thrilled. Though his intellect told him that the message probably meant death, still that was not what he believed. And the unreasonable hope persisted, and his heart banged. Minutes passed. Winston mustered the courage. He readjusted the spectacles on his nose, sighed, and drew the next batch of work towards him, with the scrap of paper on top of it. He flattened it out. On it was written, in large, unformed handwriting, "I love you." Winston got his rebellion, while Julia told him why the party was after love and lovemaking. When you make love, you're using up energy, and afterwards you feel happy and don't give a damn for anything. They can't bear you to feel like that. They want you to be bursting with energy all the time. All this marching up and down and cheering and waving flag is simply sex gone sour. If you're happy inside yourself, why should you get excited about Big Brother and the 3-year plans and the 2 minutes hate and all the rest of their bloody rot? Winston and Julia are not naive. Even as the love affair blossoms, they know well how it will end. Big Brother will get them. They will be tortured and confess about everything. But they also know that they can still somehow win. Confession is not betrayal, Winston tells Julia. What you say or do doesn't matter. Only feelings matter. If they could make me stop loving you, that would be the real betrayal. She thinks it over. They can't do that, she finally says. It's the one thing they can't do. They can make you say anything, but they can't make you believe it. They can't get inside you. No, he answers a little more hopefully. No, that's quite true. They can't get inside you. If you can feel that staying human is worthwhile, even when it can't have any result, whatever, you've beaten them. The moment of truth ensues in the ministry of love, the interior ministry in charge of ensuring people's loyalty. to Big Brother. As Winston anticipated, he confessed. Tortured by O'Brien, Winston eventually gives up his freedom. 2 and 2 are whatever Big Brother says. And yet, Winston confesses he still hates Big Brother. You hate him. Good. O'Brien tells him, then the time has come for you to take the last step. You must love Big Brother. It is not enough to obey him. You must love him. He releases Winston with a little push towards the guards. Room 101, he said. In room 101, O'Brien tells him what it's all about. The thing that is in room 101 is the worst thing in the world. It varies from individual to individual. It may be burial alive, or death by fire, or by drowning, or by impalement, or 50 other deaths. There are cases where it is some quite trivial thing, not even fatal. In your case, said O'Brien, the worst thing in the world happens to be rats. Winston, living with the childhood trauma of seeing rats in place of his absent mother and sister, is horrified and is ready to do anything. But O'Brien refuses to command him, instead setting up the torture machinery that will bring about the rats closer and closer to Winston's face until they devour it. Winston comes face to face with his deepest abyss. Everything had gone black. For an instant, he was insane, a screaming animal, yet he came out of the blackness clutching an idea. There was one and only one way to save himself. He must interpose another human being, the body of another human being, between himself and the rats. Winston could see the whiskers and the yellow teeth. Again, the black panic took hold of him. He was blind, helpless, mindless. The mask was closing on his face. The wire brushed his cheek. And then, no, it was not relief, only hope. Tiny fragment of hope. Too late, perhaps too late, but he had suddenly understood that in the whole world there was just one person to whom he could transfer his punishment, one body that he could thrust between himself and the rats. And he was shouting frantically over and over, "Do it to Julia, do it to Julia, not me, Julia. I don't care what you do to her. Tear her face off, strip her to the bones, not me. Julia, not me." Broken to the bones, Winston is released from the ministry of love. By chance, he later meets Julia, and their faces, their words, speak of their betrayal, of each other and themselves. Still later, sitting alone at his table, playing chess with himself, Winston is alerted by a news bulletin on the telescreen announcing victory. And he looks at the portrait of Big Brother. He gazed up at the enormous face. 40 years it had taken him to learn what kind of smile was hidden beneath the dark mustache. Oh, cruel, needless misunderstanding. Oh, stubborn, self-willed exile from the loving breast. 2 gin-scented tears trickled down the sides of his nose. But it was all right. Everything was all right. The struggle was finished. He had won the victory over himself. He loved Big Brother. So concludes 1984. If, in his mind, Winston could now think 2 + 2 = 5, in his heart he could now feel how 1 + 1, how interpersonal love may equal 0. A void to be wholly filled by love for the leader.